Stratman Steve here again. Now in this video, can an amp modeler like the Lava Studio beat a tube amp? That's what we're going to find out. I think, you know, today's modeling game is so good. Like recently, and I really love to demo it, I watched a video of the positive grid reactor. The fact, you know, you can use AI and actually speak to the amp and say, you know, give me this tone, and straight away, you know, you get those tones that, you know, you've been chasing for a long time. But there's pros and cons to this sort of argument. I mean, like, for me, that takes all the fun away of, you know, dialing in pedals, even to your playing ability. You know, if you really want these raw tones, it's like with the SRV thing especially, it's all about feel more than it is, yeah, I could just get AI to set me up an SRV inspired tone or a dad bluesy tone. You know, you still got to have that passion, you still got to have that feel, you still got to play with aggression to get the best out of it. It's no good just saying it and then just, you know, just playing. You know, with no emotion. So I think, like I say, there's pros and cons to it both, but I think the pros kind of outweigh the cons for getting the sound that you're after in a short space of time. But I feel like it takes away all the fun of the chase and the inspiration of playing. Okay, so what I've got set up here is the deluxe reverb tube amp. I'm stacking the Cowboy King over the TS9. I've got the Vox Y in between and the fuzz pedal pool and germanium fuzz. But basically for this, we're just using the Cowboy King and then the TS9. The other thing is as well, I feel like a tube amp's more touch sensitive and a bit more dynamic than, you know, what an amp modeling thing can do. And rolling back the volume knob, you can really hear how it cleans up. I mean, this is it full up. It's quite heavy. Take it back to like even 5. Maybe less. That's like 3.5, 4. And then all the way up. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to play the riff that I played in the intro with the Lava Studio, modeled like a, you know, kind of SRV tone. Obviously it helps now with the Tone 3000 on here that you access like Dumble style amp heads. But what we'll do a side-by-side comparison, or like one video after the other, and let me know your thoughts. even, you know. So, let me know your thoughts, like which do you think sounded better? Like, to me, the valve amp, I felt air moving, and it just, I don't know, there was something about it, just, I guess, you know, given the fact I'm not playing this for a big cab or anything, I'm not getting that loudness, you know, that I would get from the valve amp, because the valve's a combos going straight through a cab. Its own, you know, cabinet kind of thing. So I guess that's why I'm not really feeling the air move or anything. I mean, there's a great tone, don't get me wrong. But also, you know, I also mentioned about obviously rolling back the volume knob and the touch sensitivity. I mean, you can dig in with this, but to me it's too saturated, it's too compressed. I'm going to give you an example, like with a vibrato bend. I really love that, where you can hear the frets being really scratched. But also, amp models do kind of allow you to roll back and clean up. You got to go too far back, and it's almost as though you lose a bit of tone and it gets a bit tinny. And you could tell it still wants to be pushed. Like, so to get a full tone, really, you got to have it all the way up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, like which you think is better. I mean, like, have we solved tone? I think to get the tones we want is so accessible now, and it is easier to get them, you know, especially at a lower volume, like a practicing volume. But it's just, there is something missing. It's not quite perfected yet. I mean, there's great technology that's out now, and is at affordable prices, but I really think there's just that little bit of excitement missing from it. I mean, again, I could be wrong. Put me through, you know, stereo speakers or whatever, so I could crank up the volume and feel some air move, maybe. But it doesn't excite me as much as a tube amp with pedals can. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know, you know, what excites you about playing guitar. What do you use? You know, do you prefer modeling now over tube amps? Is tube amps going to be a thing that's just going to disappear off the face of the earth? I don't know. Just one of those questions. Always remember to end on a